Your husband canceled the life insurance policy last week, my agent called to mention. I didn't know we had life insurance. I was loading the dishwasher when my phone rang showing an unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something made me answer. The woman introduced herself as Diane from Protective Life Insurance. I wanted to follow up on the cancellation your husband submitted. We processed his paperwork, but I noticed this policy had been active for 8 years. Are you certain you want to terminate coverage entirely? I stood frozen in my kitchen. What policy are you referring to? There was a pause. The $750,000 term life policy on yourself. Your husband is listed as sole beneficiary. He called last Tuesday requesting immediate cancellation. I couldn't breathe. My husband had taken out a massive life insurance policy on me without my knowledge, and now he wanted to cancel it. Can you send me copies of all the documents, the original application and everything? The paperwork arrived in my email 20 minutes later. My husband had forged my signature 8 years ago. He'd been paying premiums from an account I never knew existed, and the policy paid out only if I died. I sat at the kitchen table reading every page 3 times. My hands wouldn't stop trembling. Why would someone take out a secret life insurance policy on their wife, and why cancel it after 8 years? I thought about the past few months. My husband had been different, more attentive, more affectionate, bringing me coffee in bed, suggesting weekend getaways, complimenting things he used to ignore. I'd assumed he was being romantic. Now I wasn't sure. I started looking through our finances while he was at work. I found a second bank account I'd never seen. Statements showed regular cash withdrawals, hundreds at a time, sometimes thousands. Over the past year, he'd pulled out nearly $40,000 in cash. Where was that money going? I dug deeper. His email was still logged in on our shared computer. I felt sick looking through it, but couldn't stop. There were messages to someone named Bridget going back 2 years. At first, they seemed professional, then personal, then romantic, then explicit. The most recent was from 3 weeks ago. Everything is ready on my end. Once it's done, we'll finally be together. I've waited so long. My vision blurred with tears. Bridget's reply was short. Make sure there are no loose ends. I don't want surprises. No loose ends. That's what I was. A loose end worth $750,000. I called a lawyer that day. I didn't tell my husband anything. For 2 weeks, I pretended everything was normal while building my case. I documented the secret account. I printed every email. I got copies of the forged insurance documents. I recorded conversations where he mentioned our finances. Then I did something that probably saved my life. I found Bridget's address through the emails and drove there one afternoon. She lived in a nice condo 40 minutes away. I knocked holding a folder of printed emails. When she answered, I introduced myself as the wife she was planning to help murder. Her face went white. I don't know what you're talking about. I showed her the emails. This is conspiracy to commit murder. I've given copies to my lawyer. If anything happens to me, the police get everything within 24 hours. She started crying immediately. Then she told me what my husband had promised. The insurance money. A fresh start together. He told her our marriage was over and I was making his life unbearable. He'd painted himself as a victim so she'd help him become a widower. He said it would look like an accident. Nobody would suspect. That's why he canceled the policy. He was getting cold feet. Or realized the insurance company would investigate a sudden death. Either way, he was backing out of the plan to kill me. I went to the police the next morning with everything. They couldn't arrest him for crimes not yet committed but took the report seriously. They interviewed Bridget, who cooperated, hoping for leniency. My husband was brought in that afternoon. I watched through the window as they showed him everything. His face collapsed when he realized I knew. He claimed it was all a misunderstanding. The detective didn't believe him. Neither did the judge who granted my emergency restraining order. I filed for divorce that week. He's awaiting trial for insurance fraud and conspiracy. Bridget testified against him. I'm in a new apartment now with a security system. He sent a letter last month asking for another chance. I burned it without reading past the first line.